get in on the other side before the weather deteriorates. The waves are a bit troublesome, still a bit of a shaky thing. It's cold today, some snow slush coming down.
We took the wrong way.
I'm an unhappy trooper. This is brutal. Well, we can't say we didn't try. We are Kathrin and Daniel, living aboard Polaris, our 46-foot sailing yacht. For the past 5 years, we have sailed northern waters from the south coast of England to Arctic Spitsbergen. We just heard a gale warning, a new one that will hit us later this evening or in late afternoon it will start. We have seen that on the weather app that the wind will pick up a bit in late afternoon, so that's why we want to make a bit of speed to get in on the other side before the weather deteriorates. So that's why we're motoring. We're doing at the moment a good 6.5 knots over ground, which is okay, and ETA in our shot is about 2:30 in the afternoon. Enjoy your breakfast, Kathrin.
Thank you.
How are you feeling?
I need something in my stomach.
a bit queasy.
That's how I'm feeling.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
The wind stabilized a bit and we just pulled the sails up. We got a nice 10-11 knots from slightly ahead. The waves are a bit troubling. It's still a bit of a shaky thing. They're coming quite from a beam, so we're rolling quite a bit, and the sails help a lot. So far it's a lovely sailing. We have the first reef in the main, just to be conservative. You never know in this weather, and the full Genoa out, and we're pulling nicely ahead with about 6.2 knots. Are you feeling a bit queasy?
Yes, no, yeah.
Are you growing sea legs?
Hopefully.
Okay, she's a bit poorly. The wind has died and we would not be able to keep the course, particularly in these waves, so we put on the engine and we're motoring at 7 knots towards our motor is sailing at 7 knots towards our destination. We hope to be there at 2, which is probably in about 2.5 hours or so. Very good. So it's 10 nautical miles more to go, a little bit more than an hour. Ahead of us we can already see the low-lying islands at the entrance of Norshot and the impressive mountains just behind it. It looks lovely here on this side as well, so on the opposite side of Lofoten. It's been quite a choppy ride so far. There is quite a nasty swell that has persisted. There is not a lot of wind here, but I know from the forecast that further south of Bodø, there is quite some wind going on at the moment, and it will increase. So these are the waves from there basically that we're feeling. I think it's a good meter, and the sails stabilizing us so it doesn't chuck us around that much. Kathrin is down below. She doesn't feel very good. It's the first real trip over water and in somewhat challenging sea conditions, so she is growing her sea legs as we're speaking. Normally at the beginning of a season that's she needs a couple of days in some waves and then she's fine again, just to get used to it. cold today. There have been some snow slush coming down. It's about 4 degrees outside and the lines are cold.
And wet.
And it's wet. So probably that's gonna be like that the whole day. But it's still okay. There's not a lot of wind today, so it's probably gonna be all motoring. 24 nautical miles to a place called Skårungen, and we should be there in early afternoon. On our way, we explore this beautiful wild anchorage described in the Norwegian Cruising Guide. This shallow bay in scenic Indre Vettøysundet is surrounded by wooded hills and home to sea eagles. Dropping the anchor is tempting, but not for today. We have other plans. Just minutes later, we pass on a spot that looks promising for catching a fish or 5 on the chart. With no sails to drop, this is a no-brainer. So swiftly, the lure drops. Was?
Kathrin.
Da hat er. Schauen, sonst schmeißen wir sie. Langt das? And when it rains, there is always the next video waiting. What about some fish tonight, we think? A suitable fishing spot is quickly identified and the chart What about some fish tonight, we think? A suitable fishing spot is quickly identified on the chart and down goes the lure. As usual, it just takes a few moments for 2 tusk fish to bite. That's dinner sorted. Well, after having been quite successful, the weather has cleared up. The rain has stopped.
Hopefully.
For today. And it's time to go on a hike. Where are we going, Kathrin?
Just a small hike, just actually small. It's really a lazy, moderate hike, I hope, or I expect.
Whatever that means.
And just 2-3 hours, and then we are back on the sailboat, and hopefully we can sail it to Bodø this afternoon.
So, you believe it's that one there, Kathrin?
No, I'm not sure. Now it should be more right.
More right, that would be
no.
one over there. It's quite wet, Kathrin, huh?
Yes, but yesterday there was rain the whole day, so I expected It like this, that's why I have some gaiters on.
I don't need gaiters. Yes, Kathrin, show us.
Yeah, we took the wrong way.
Bad navigator. How long?
Only 5 minutes.
These were the subaltern officers we never wanted to walk with, those who couldn't read the maps. I'm an unhappy trooper. That's quite a long way back.
Yeah, it's 5 minutes.
That's more than 5 minutes. Here.
No.
That's where we have to go.
Yeah, but because we talked to each other, so I wasn't concentrating. That's my excuse.
Lame excuse.
No.
Yes, but no, but yes, but no, but.
It's empty. It's we can't write our names in the
notebook.
Yeah.
It's back to the snow, huh? This is brutal. The rope is here not because it's too dangerous, just because it's too steep. It's just straight up. Silly thing. But, oh, it helps a bit. Middagshaugen, which means midday hill. Now, yeah, it's only a hill, but it's a steep one.
It's 10 o'clock.
Glad we have done it before middag, before lunch, but then again, for the Norwegian, middag actually means dinner. So I don't know whether that means lunch or evening or whatever. Anyway, Middagshaugen, we made it. Down south, that's where we're going today. We're going down to this island here, where we're going to check out an anchorage for the cruising guide, and then we will continue, and Bodø is just behind these mountains here, about 20 nautical miles, so 35-40 kilometers in this direction. That's where we're gonna go tonight. Okay?
Yeah.
What this print is. And it's be an elk. Or is it a cow? I don't know.
I'm a rolling stone, bound to roam. Come the morning, or I'll be gone. Pouring rain, oh, to hear that train. There she comes. Won't you get on? Won't you get on?
So that was it. Now it's another 2 kilometers on a gravel road and along the main road, I think. That's it.
Yes, but I prefer to make a circle,
A loop.
then going up and the same way down. So I think it was a nice hike. More demanding than expected.
As we return from our hike, we just catch the moment of this very special boat preparing to slip the lines. The almost entirely female crew gets ready for the next leg on their 740 nautical miles journey from Trondheim to Lofoten and back. We have a brief chat and they showed us their blistered hands, the result of long hours at the oars and working the heavy traditional rig. They also described life below, in the narrow, damp and unheated shelter at the stern. Only about half the crew can sleep at one time. While they rest, the others remain on watch. In the cold and wet of a northern Norwegian spring, comfort is minimal. This boat is Skårungen, a 43-foot wooden traditional open fishing boat belonging to Fossen Folkskole, a residential school for traditional crafts and outdoor skills. Built in the traditional all-fjord style, her clinker hull, long oars and single square sail preserve a Scandinavian boat-building tradition stretching back many centuries. But Skårungen is not a museum piece. Each spring, students sail her north from Trondheim towards Lofoten, propelled only by wind and human effort. Her name is fitting. A Skårunge was traditionally a young fisherman experiencing the Lofoten fishery for the first time and learning through hard work alongside the experienced crew. We live aboard a sailing boat ourselves, but this is an entirely different level. Exposed, physical and demanding, a coastal tradition kept alive not by displaying it, but by living it.
Ja, ist gut, ja.
So it's nice weather. This morning we had some rain first, then the rain stopped and we went on a hike just over there on that hill over there, and now just shortly after 1 o'clock we slipped the lines and we're on the way now from Skårungen to Bodø, and we have not a lot of wind. We have an apparent wind of 6 knots, a true of 8, and right from the back, so which is not ideal. We're doing 3 and some knots, so that's nothing. We'll have to see how this pans out, and maybe we'll have to switch on the engine later on if the wind doesn't freshen up a little bit. Otherwise we'll never make it.
But at the moment it's beautiful. It's just nice and calm.
Yes.
Relax. Safe.
Well, we can't say we didn't try. We had about 8 knots of wind to start with right from behind, which is not ideal, so we made about 3-4 knots, 3.5 knots, and so we thought it might be an idea to pull up the Spinnaker, but by the way I had it rigged and pulled it up. The wind has completely died. We have now about 6 knots of wind from behind, which is nothing to sail with. So that gives us an apparent wind of maybe, I don't know, 4 or so. That's nothing we can do. So Back to the engine. A cruising guide writes nicely about this anchorage here, Landegode Helgeland, and we're going to check this out. It's only a small detour on our way to Bodø. We're gonna go in and check it out. I don't think anchoring is good today because tomorrow anyway we'll have rain, and then later in the day there is a storm passing through the area here, and then this anchorage here with southerly southwesterly winds. They say it's quite gusty, so we can't be in there, but we just go and have a look how it is. On the final miles into the harbour we can spot Skårungen ahead of us. At the end we arrive in Bodø at the same time. Our slow sailing earlier and the short detour to Helgeland cost us a little time, but too much for us to have a chance to catch up with them. Well done, Skårungen. Very impressive. Join us next time when we finally reach the second major destination of our season, the stunning Helgeland coast. A maze of remote islands, white beaches and towering peaks rising straight from the sea. This is one of the true gems of the Norwegian coast.